come save me. Why do I run you away every single time? Why do I find a way to mess it up at night? I couldn't look away even if I tried. This time I'm falling off the edge. Stood beside me. It feels like lightning. How you touch me, and now you fight me. Oh, your passion in pain ignites me. Can you see me? Please come hold me. Why do I run you away every single time? Why do I find a way to mess it up at night? I couldn't look away even if I tried. This time I'm falling off of the edge. My world is slipping and crumbling in my mind. I feel so faint that I collapse, but I still fight. I swear I'll fix myself. I'm gonna try this time. I won't be falling off of the edge. Can you see me? Please come save me. Can you see me? Please come hold me. Why do I run you away every single time? Why do I find a way to mess it up at night? I couldn't look away even if I tried. This time I'm falling off of the edge.
Woo! Yay! That's absolutely how we do it right here on Ekse, Monday to Fridays, man. When it comes to live performances, let me tell you something. We got you covered. That is, of course, a brand new one from Stanley titled Falling Off the Edge. Oh, man, that was such an amazing. The guy with the guitar and an incredible voice, that is Stanley. Stanley, well done. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, dude. Thank you for having me on the show. I really
It's
appreciate it.
absolutely an honor. How do you feel, before we talk about who you are, how are you feeling right now that your second single is absolutely doing amazing?
Well, I feel hopeful. It's
Yeah.
been a very rough year for a lot of people, especially for people in the entertainment industry, and with the world opening back up, it's hopeful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Stanley. You started singing at a very young age with your siblings. You know, you started singing popular songs back in Zambia. What influenced you guys to, where does the music influence come from?
Well, the music influence, personally, the music influence comes from listening to a lot of rock music in my later years
Yeah.
as a young teenager, as a very young angsty teenager. That's my main source of influence. Of course, going back then when I was listening to a lot of boy band music,
Yeah.
that sort of still permeates when I write.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you foresee yourself as a singer in the future, or was it something that you guys were doing just because maybe you were bored the day, you decided to sing? Did you see yourself as doing music professionally?
Well, when we started out doing it way back when, it was really just a way to sort of kill time and bond. But as I kept on going and as I grew up and went through a couple of things, I found that music was something that I could do and that I could use as a coping mechanism for some of the things that I struggled with without hurting myself or the people around me. So that's sort of where the drive to do music professionally came from. But back then it was just for fun.
Right now, you just performed your brand new single, your second single, actually, titled Falling Off the Edge. Tell us about the song.
So this is a song that I wrote a couple of weeks before leaving Zambia, and basically what it talks about is how when you're struggling with something, that the decision to deal with that ultimately falls upon you. Even if you do need help, you have to decide that you need help before you can actually go out and get it. So it's something that sort of preaches a message of you being responsible for whatever it is that you're struggling with, and you know, taking charge of that when you decide to deal with it.
How has been the reception from people who have listened to the song? What's some of the reactions that you get? Because for me, it's just a song that makes me think. Because when I was sitting in the chair, I was actually thinking, looking at you, and I'm actually imagining things. What are some of the reactions and reception that you get from people?
Well, it's actually a very interesting question, because the reason that I kept this song and actually ended up recording it is when I wrote it back home, I played it for a friend of mine who I was giving guitar lessons. And when I was done playing the song and I looked up, she was just drenched in tears. So that's what sort of compelled me to keep the song. And since it came out, the response has sort of been on par with that. Of course, I can't see everybody who's listened to it, but it's in line with that.
Why did you decide to release it now this time? Because you're saying this is the song that you wrote back at home, and you decided to actually let it go now and release it to the rest of the world. Why now?
Well, it's just, so I've recently been working with a record label, and these songs we actually worked on in early to mid-November last year. And so we just finished working on this one, and all of us were so excited, and we were like, why don't we put it out and see what people think? So it was just sort of like a feeler to see what people are going to say.
You have a beautiful sound, by the way. Listening to your sound, it's absolutely amazing. How would you describe it to someone who's not familiar with your brand?
Oh man, I hate that question so much. It's sort of a mix between early 2000s rock and alternative pop today. Yeah. So it's more on the edgy side of things. It's more rocky. It's very emo and melancholy, and
You're not just the guy with a great voice and a guitar. You're also a songwriter. What influences your writing?
What influences my writing? What influences my writing is mostly my personal experiences. And the type of music I write is, I always try to say this, I write sad songs for sad people, because I'm kind of a sad person and I like listening to sad songs when I'm sad. So, and it really helps me. So when I sit down to write a song, I'm trying to write a song that could possibly help somebody else who's in that sort of state of mind. So that's what influences me.
Speaking of writing songs, do you remember the first ever song that you wrote and what it's about? I hope not about love or a girl.
This is an interesting one. So the first song I ever wrote was actually a gospel song. Back when I used to be Christian, and I was in a Christian band. I just joined it. I was very eager to get into things and to impress. So I wrote a Christian song. I don't even remember it, but the first song I wrote, even back then when I was writing Christian songs, it was still pretty dark. It was called From Beneath the Darkness. Yeah.
I just hope you're not in the darkness.
Sometimes.
we all get there, and sometimes we escape that, which is absolutely fine. It's part of life.
Exactly.
You said you write your own song. What is the importance of you writing your own songs, being the guy that is behind the lyrics of the songs?
For me, music is like I said before, it's something that I started doing as sort of a therapeutic release. So when it comes to the songs that I sing and them having to be written by me, it sort of goes back to that where it's like, it has to be therapeutic. If it's not a song that's written by me, of course it might have a therapeutic effect, but not to the degree that it would if I wrote it myself. So that's something that I really try to focus on when it comes to the songs that I do.
This is your second single, and I'm smelling an EP or an album. Can we expect something bigger?
Yeah, you can. You can. So sometime next year there might be an album dropping. We don't know. Maybe. Okay, there's definitely going to be an album dropping.
As a musician, how has this time, the lockdown, impacted your craft?
Well, as far as being able to make money, and I think the rest of the world is going to
Yeah.
agree with me here, it's just completely decimated all of
Yeah.
that. And I was actually chatting to the guy who was driving me here. It's like we're going to have to play catch up for like the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, on the financial side, it's been absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
On the creative side, it's sort of been helpful because you have a lot of time to yourself, and I live on my own. I don't really have a relationship, so it's like I have to sit with my
Yeah.
thoughts, and it really helps when you're trying to create something to just sit on your own and really suss it out and yeah, flesh out those ideas.
Yeah. Also, who are your music influences? Who influences the type of music you make?
So the first and I think most important influence that I can cite is Linkin Park. Most
Yeah.
people, most people will hear that and see that in my music. That's really what sort of grabbed me and started giving me that drive to do music, because
Yeah.
whenever I would be in a really, really bad place when I was much younger, Linkin Park always just sort of pulled me out of that. But as the years have gone by, I've picked up a few other influences. Ed Sheeran is one of those.
Yeah, he's amazing.
No, he's absolutely amazing. His drive is it's insane.
Yeah.
A few other influences I can cite: Coldplay.
Yeah.
There's this really cool band I listen to called Holocaust.
Yeah.
It's a really, really cool band. Yeah, there's a ton.
There's so many more.
There's so many.
Falling off the edge, I'm sure people are going crazy about this thing right now, watching the show. Where do we find your songs? How do we support you?
Okay. So you can find my songs on all major streaming platforms. So if you listen on Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, Tidal, anything really, you can find my music everywhere. All you have to do is just go there and search for Stanley Sibande, and you're definitely going to find it.
And on social media, where do we find you?
So you can find me under the same handle. You can find me on YouTube. I'm posting videos all the time. You can find me Stanley Sibande. On Instagram, Stanley_Sibande_music. And on Facebook, Stanley Sibande Music.
Can we claim? I think we should claim him as South Africans. I'm sorry to everyone who's Zambian. He's ours right now because he's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Good luck with your music career, and hopefully you're gonna expect something bigger, and you're gonna come back when you have that.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much for having me. And I hope I do have a huge music career, and I would really love to come back.
With that voice and that guitar, absolutely, you're gonna have a huge career. That is, of course, Stanley Sibande, Zambian-born singer, but right now he's based in South Africa. So yeah, he's ours right now. Well, that's how it did right on Ekse. You can catch his performances and, of course, this interview. If you missed it, Pago Ekse on Cape Town TV, Pago YouTube. But right now, we're gonna take a quick breather. More to come right on Ekse.